Hi, welcome to Positively Sparking, a podcast on internet marketing, online productivity, and business. Today I'm with Joel Harrison, expert VA and client manager at Positive Sparks, and we're going to chat through our favourite apps for the month of February. Hey Joel, how's France today?
Hi Phil, France is lovely today. I've just been out with the dogs and the sun is shining. The lambs in the field are making a lot of noise. I'm not sure what you call it when they make noise. The
Bleating?
Lambs. Bleating, yeah, that's the word. It's lovely here. It's been nice this week. So
The beginning of spring.
All my flowers are coming out. When my dad was over last year, they planted lots of bulbs in my garden, so they're all popping up now. So it's going to look nice soon.
Wow, great stuff. So this is the beautiful picture you're painting. So I'm looking forward to some positive, sunshine-filled apps from you.
Okay. Hopefully I can manage that.
So let's go with your first app, Joel. What's your first one for the month of Feb?
Okie doke. So my first app is called Manage Flitter, and I've been using it for quite a while now, actually. But I never really think about using it on the podcast. So I thought, well, this would be a good opportunity. Basically, what it is, it manages your Twitter account. I use the free account, which means I can clean up my Twitter account. So I can unfollow people that are inactive. I can unfollow spam people who they think are spam on my account. And I can obviously grow my account by following new people. There are different plans that you can have. So there's the pro account, which is I think $12 a month. You've got a business account, $49 a month, which give you lots of analytics. You can also do power tweeting, which apparently gets in front of people. It gives you the ideas of when to tweet, when it would be a good time to tweet. So it schedules them around your followers, how they interact on Twitter. And I just find it really useful because I go in there probably once a month, go into all of my Twitter accounts that I manage, do it separately because you can only have one account on the free account, and unfollow all the inactive people that I follow on there, which is great because then my following goes down and the ratio between the following and followers gets better and better.
Wow. So this is yet another social media app.
Yes.
How many do you use in total?
Yep. I've never counted. I've never really counted. I probably less now than I used to because I've kind of stuck with the ones that work for me. But this, I've used other apps for this sort of thing, for unfollowing people, and this one seems to be the better one for me. It's so easy just to log in, click on your inactive people. I can then go through it and just check that there aren't any people in there that I want to continue following just in case they reappear on Twitter. And then just unfollow the rest. And you can filter it as well. So you can filter it location, who tweets more than other people. So another one that I do sometimes is if my Twitter feed is getting really, really busy, same people tweeting over and over again, I go on there and I can filter it so I can see who are really active. And then I look at those people and I go, oh, I don't want to follow you anymore. And then I can just unfollow them on there. And it clears my Twitter feed up a little bit.
It is a great tool by the sound of things to balance that difference between followers and following. Just explain why that's important, Joe.
I'm not entirely sure why it's important, but what happens is if Twitter, if you have more if you're following more people than you have followers, Twitter think, well, you're just following because you want those people to follow you back. And that's what a lot of people do. You find a lot of people on Twitter that have got so many followers because they're just hoping that these people are going to follow them back. But actually, I found that having less following people, you're following less people, it actually increases your followers because people think, oh, well, she must be pretty good because she has more followers than she is following. there's lots of following and followers. I'm going to get confused in a minute.
It's tough, isn't it, to get clear in your head?
Yeah.
I thought the same as you. I was understood that if we follow way more people than are following us, there's also a point where Twitter says, no, you can't follow anyone else.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
so
exactly.
this balance is readdressed.
Yeah, exactly that.
And do you know, Joe, I think I told you earlier on, I'm going to start a course today. I'm going to start making a video course, which is all about growing your Twitter account with ads. But it's based upon the principles of Twitter. So hashtags.
Oh, okay.
And that concept there, of the difference between followers and following, is really important, because if we boost our presence with ads, we can suddenly get lots more followers in quite a short space of time. So it's important to have the space to do that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what I find when because I don't just do it on my own account. I do it on all my client accounts that I manage, and it's good when you see the followers going up, and you can reduce the following people down because they're inactive, and you think, oh, it's working, and it's just like a nice big clear up once a month that I have.
It sounds very neat and spring clean like.
Yeah, it does. It makes me feel happy when I see the following count go down.
The other app that I've discovered that sounds very similar to Manage Flitter is Crowdfire. Have you tried that one?
I don't think I have. I've heard of it, but I don't think I've tried it.
Very, very similar. So it gives you the ability to unfollow people who haven't followed you back, for example. And that's another way of managing that difference between followers and following.
Yeah.
So does Manage Flitter offer that as well?
Yeah, you can do that as well. I just don't use that very often, just because some of the people that I follow, I want to follow just because they've not followed me back. I don't want to unfollow them. I like their tweets, so
you want to keep them there. Yeah.
Well, exactly. Yeah, there's lots of people that don't follow me back, but I would unfollow some if my sole aim was to increase my following and I wasn't too bothered about who I was following, then obviously I could do that. But I like my Twitter account is I've grown it organically since I started, so I've never used ads, and I've never done the whole following loads of people to try and get them to follow me back. So
sure.
Most of the people I follow are people that I actually want to follow.
Sounds beautifully authentic.
Well, I try to be.
When I first met you, I remember you telling me that most of your business came from Twitter at the time.
At the time, yeah.
So how has Twitter changed in that respect for you?
I don't think Twitter has changed from then. I used to get a lot of ebook formatting work from Twitter, and I still do get the odd one occasionally. But I think now I chat to people more on Twitter. It's more of a conversation thing for me. I don't generally use it for promoting my work. I mean, I have some automated tweets that go out that promote my work and whatever, but I'm not physically using it as a let me get more work. Okay, occasionally if I'm short of work, I may pop on there and do some searches to see if there's anybody that I can help out. But yeah, generally it's just and the same with Facebook. I'm not I don't actively seek work from Facebook either, but sure. I do get some people from there. It's I guess everybody uses it differently. And over time I've come to realise that work comes in because they like the person rather than
yes, agreed. Because
you're harassing them on there.
So you used to harass everybody on Twitter. Give me work.
Maybe sometimes. When I was just a young VA, just starting out.
I think in some ways that the web has changed that to the point where, back in the early days of SEO, it was a very direct link between people searching for something and buying something. Mm-hmm. And now there's a huge time lag, I suppose. So the first encounter is often one of many steps that people take before they choose to become a customer. And a big part of that is liking the ethos, liking the person, comparing you with others and seeing the difference, understanding what any difference is. So it's just a longer process. And a big part of that is us putting our brand out there and being friendly and being helpful.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely.
So where can we find Manage Flitter?
It's just manageflitter.com.
Nice
Very
and
easy
easy.
one. Yeah.
Very
And
good.
you just literally sign in with your Twitter account and it'll take a look at it and yeah, give you all the options of unfollowing people.
Excellent. Sounds great. So, Joe, do you still do any keyword research?
Not really, no.
Did you ever?
I've attempted it a few times, but I always found it really difficult, especially for virtual assistants, because it's just so difficult to pinpoint keywords which I could be found for, which no other virtual assistant would be found for. It was impossible for me, I found.
Okay. Well, maybe this next tool, my first app, will help a bit.
Okay.
So, there's been all kinds of keyword research tools over the years. And I do think that keyword research has kind of dimmed a bit because the power of SEO has dropped compared to what it used to be. However, it's still an important part of what we do in online marketing. So a tool I've really enjoyed playing with over the last month or so is keywordtool.io.
Okay.
Then this is a free tool to use. There is a paid option, but the free version is very, very good. And what's great about it is it allows us to search for keywords across Google, Bing, YouTube, Amazon, and the App Store.
Okay. Oh,
So
wow.
that's quite
Okay.
a varied amount. So, some of your authors, for example, would find
Yeah.
it useful to search the Amazon store for the kinds of
wow.
things that people search for.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea.
And it's very, very good at finding what we call long tail keywords. So we offer a seed, which might be virtual assistant, for example, for you. And then the tool will pull all the things that people search for regularly based around that particular seed.
Okay.
Now, what we end up with is a list of keywords. And in order to get statistics on how many times those are searched for each month, we do have to go to the pro version. Or
Okay.
what I do is I cut and paste them and put them into Google Keyword Tool. And that
okay.
will then give the stats we're after.
Yeah.
So it's a great little tool, simple to use. You fire away, you have a look, and go from there with some indication of what you're trying to build as a campaign.
Yeah. Okay. I'll have to have a look at that then and try out my virtual assistant.
Definitely. And you see, with YouTube, video SEO is quite a growing area. So whereas
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
it's the same as mobile SEO, Google's made a huge shift in the last couple of months to focus on mobile SEO. Neil was talking about this in our podcast 2 weeks ago. And so that different approach, whereas keywords in the normal sense, in the search engine sense, are maybe things that we use now for pay-per-click, perhaps more than we do SEO. On other types of device, we also have the app inclusion on Keyword Tool.
Yeah.
There's opportunity and there's space because people have to make a video to compete on YouTube,
Yeah.
and it's a little bit harder to do that.
Yeah. No, YouTube is really getting started. I think it's probably more important than Google Plus now. YouTube.
There we go. Big statement.
For me, I think if I was going to do anything to improve my brand, I would probably do videos if I wanted to be on the screen, but I don't.
I was actually amazed you said that. That sentence really came out of nowhere and surprised me.
Well, I've added videos of some sort to my to-do list, so I've not put a due date for that though.
This is a big change. A big change. I'm so happy to hear that. So let's try, Joe. Let's try and do a video before the summer. Let's just give that as a rough deadline.
Stop giving me challenges.
So go on, Joe. Give us your next app.
Okay, my next app is one that you recommended me actually a few months ago, and it's called MailerLite, and it's wonderful.
Wow.
I'm really enjoying using it, and it's basically an email marketing company like MailChimp, Aweber, some of the others, and there are some advantages of using MailerLite over MailChimp. I actually moved my account because with MailerLite it's free up to 1,000 subscribers, which is fine because I didn't have 1,000 subscribers, I just had below. And I can use the automation, so that I can do autoresponders on the free account, which you can't do on MailChimp. And it was costing me $20 a month for MailChimp, and I had one autoresponder which I set up in 2013, so it had kind of run its course a little bit. So I'm paying $20 a month and not really getting any new subscribers. So I've moved to MailerLite, and it's pretty much the same as MailChimp. I actually find the setting up a newsletter or an email to go out is a lot easier than MailChimp. It seems to flow easier. And I think the templates that they've got look nicer than MailChimp templates. And you can do everything that you can do on MailChimp and not spend $20 until you go over 1,000 subscribers.
Well, there we go. Now, I was really looking forward to hearing you speak about MailerLite today, because the whole reason you wanted to find a new platform was because of that cost of MailChimp.
Yeah, it was.
And this is quite an interesting area, because I don't know if you saw this, but MailChimp have just announced the ability to create Facebook ads from MailChimp.
Yes, I have seen
this. Did you see that? That is a drastic change in what they are. It could be a great change, but it is just a real difference of focus.
Yeah.
So that issue of the cost of MailChimp, I believe, is what's driven that. We need to give something else that makes this price worthwhile.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think I've not looked into the Facebook ads side of things, but obviously it's not something that I would do myself at the moment. But I do have a client who wants to give it a go in the next couple of weeks. So yeah, maybe I'll speak about that another time once I've got my head around it.
Well, let's just go back to MailerLite and MailChimp, because when you took it on and started trialing it out, there's a couple of things in my mind. I thought, I'm just going to let Joe try this and see what happens. If it crashes and burns, at least I learned from that. But it sounds like it hasn't. It's really blossomed.
It hasn't, and I found other things I can do on it as well. So, for example, I'm just setting up my e-course again. It's been updated, so I'm just setting up my autoresponders on MailerLite for that. But I can also have landing pages on here, which I can't do on MailChimp, and it just saves me putting them on my website, because when I had it on my website before, I actually used a plugin which has vanished now. So I can do the landing pages on MailerLite, I can do the autoresponders on here, and there's another feature that I like as well, which is called Auto Resend, and it's similar to MailChimp, where you can schedule the campaign to go out to people that haven't opened it, but you have to do that manually. Whereas on here, you can set it up as you do the campaign. You can set it to auto send a couple of days later to people that haven't opened it. So that's really good. And the other thing that MailChimp doesn't have is the unsubscribed page builder. So you can create a page where people get to when they click on unsubscribe. Whereas with MailChimp, you unsubscribe and you go straight through, and it just gives you, can you give us some feedback? Whereas this, you can have a customized one, so you can put anything on there. Please don't go. You can put things like that on there.
Very good.
So, but it has everything else MailChimp has. That you can do A/B testing, pop-ups for the web forms and everything, segmentation. All the analytics are pretty much the same. And the one thing which I completely forgot about, the one thing that this wins hands down is I can do a campaign and I can send it to every list I have in one go.
Oh, wow. And I know
which, as you and me know,
you
have to replicate on MailChimp, and that's just ridiculous. It takes so much time.
A praising and uplifting review there, Joe. You're into this.
I am, yes.
So what about integrations? So one of the advantages of MailChimp is it pretty much integrates with anything else we can think of using.
Yeah, it does. And that's probably one of the downsides of this. It doesn't integrate with absolutely everything like MailChimp does, but they are adding stuff. They are adding stuff, and they've got a WordPress plugin. So that's the main one I would probably use.
Sure.
Apparently they'd have one for Facebook as well, so that's pretty good. And there are some other things on here that are good. Obviously Zapier, that we've spoken about.
Yeah.
And some other tools which I've worked with in the past, Opt-in Monster, Ninja Pop-Ups. I don't see Instapage on there yet, which would be useful because we use that a lot.
Sure.
So yeah, I mean they're adding them all the time, and there is the developer API. So obviously, the developers can try and sort something out if necessary.
Excellent. So Joe, I'm going to give you the big question. You run my email shot every week.
Yes, I do.
Should I move to MailerLite?
Yes, you should.
Okay, we'll do it. Yeah.
If you, I can easily do it in this. It's so much easier. Obviously it depends what you're integrated with, MailChimp, and just have to make sure that everything's, how you want it. If you wouldn't want to lose subscribers by moving over, but for ease of use and everything, it's wonderful.
Okay. Well, this is what we'll do. We'll move over, and in a month's time, we can chat about what we found with the pros and cons. Because maybe I have a few more landing pages with integrations on that might just test MailerLite a bit more.
Yeah, I think if you've got Instapage landing pages, that might be a sticking point for a few of your things. I don't know.
I've already got an idea what we might do. But
okay.
Let's see what happens.
Okie doke.
Great stuff. So I'm feeling this might be the app of the week, or the month even.
Yeah, for me, definitely. Unless your next app comes up with anything wonderful.
Well, the next one's interesting and fun, but I don't think it's going to quite make the difference that MailerLite might do. Let's give it a go, though.
Okay.
So the next app I want to talk about is a plugin for Chrome called Ghostery.
Okay.
And what it does is it tells you what tracking pixels are on any web page.
Okay.
So you can see where your data is being collected and how it might be used against you. I'm saying used against you there, that's a really strong phrase. It might be used in additional marketing.
Yeah.
I set this kind of thing up every day. So where it's useful, so two ways it's useful. If you're someone who doesn't want to have cookies on your computer or to be shown remarketing ads from people that you're browsing, then this plugin will let you switch them off and block them, all of them.
Oh, okay, cool.
Now, where it's really useful for me as a web marketeer is it actually lets me look at a website and see what pixels are on the page, and from there, I can kind of work out what marketing they're doing.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm looking at this website, joeharrison.rocks.
Oh dear.
And what we can see on there...
It's probably not a lot.
Well, it's a very, very nice number of pixels, I would say. So you've got Google Analytics on there, WordPress stats, Yandex metrics, which is one I don't know, I must admit.
I don't know what that is either. You're telling
on your
me stuff
site
now.
And then there's two social media trackers as well. So there's Gravatar, which I believe lets people comment, doesn't it, on blog posts?
And you have your image as well, I think.
That's
it's
right.
to do with the image as well, yeah.
Yeah. And the Twitter button. So those 5 parts of your website are all things that collect data on people.
Okay.
And in the sense of Gravatar, for example, it connects a person with a profile elsewhere.
Yeah.
In that sense. So all of those things are set up on your site, and if I didn't know you, I could look at that and think, okay, this is maybe what she's doing in her marketing.
Okay, yeah.
Now, what's really fun is if we compare your site with a really kind of well-known site like Sainsbury's.co.uk. They had the most trackers of anyone I could find.
Oh my God.
And I really like Sainsbury's.
Yeah.
It's my favourite supermarket. So how many do you think you can have on one web page?
Oh my God, I can't even imagine. I mean, but surely there isn't that many things out there that they can track you for.
I thought the same.
Yeah, I'm saying 100.
That would be huge. But, it's still 33 is the
Oh,
number.
okay. That's still a lot. 33
It's still a
is
lot.
still a lot. Yeah.
100 would be amazing. I'm going to see if I can
Yeah.
find a site for you with 100 trackers.
What about Amazon? Someone like Amazon.
Let's have a quick
Did
look.
you try that?
As we're chatting, we'll have a quick look and see. But you can imagine that that kind of data being pulled from a website,
Yeah.
and it's a huge amount of possibility for the company that's running that.
Mm-hmm.
But for a person, it's a huge amount of remarketing ads and other things coming
Yeah.
their way
Yeah.
from their browsing behaviour.
And there is so much lately. There's just so much. Even
Yeah,
I've even been caught out speaking to my mum in Messenger about something and then being shown ads
really.
about stuff. It's just like, oh my God, the car tyres the other day. And then I'm being shown ads for car tyres. I'm thinking, well, that was a private conversation with my mum.
That's incredible, isn't it?
Oh, it's amazing.
And this is the great debate, isn't it, on Pixels? It's all about, does it invade our life and myth
Yeah.
us off, or is it a useful thing that just enhances our use of the web?
Yeah,
And I think
don't
getting
know.
that balance is a key thing. Amazon only have one tracker.
No.
Yeah, and it's for themselves.
Surely not.
Amazon mobile ads.
Really?
Yeah, yes. Now, there could be other things in their site which are not pixel driven.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Or there could be pixels there which are not conventionally known. They might have
Yeah.
created them themselves, and that won't show up in Ghostery. But
word.
we compare that to Sainsbury's. Sainsbury's are using lots of
Yeah.
third-party tools, so
Yeah.
that's why they show up in there. But it is, for me, it's a fascinating plugin because it just lets me
Yeah, no, I'm
look
going to have to
and
get this one.
see what's going on.
I do have something similar on my Chrome toolbar, but it just shows you Facebook pixels, I think. Yeah, it's like the Facebook pixel helper, just to know that you've installed it properly on a website.
Yes. Yep, I use that one too. There's
didn't
also the
realise you
Google
could-
one as well.
Okay.
So it's got Google Tag Assistant, and that will check your setup for analytics, or I use it a lot for Tag Manager installations
Yeah. Okay.
because it's be a little tricky sometimes to get that.
I should
onto
probably
the
get
site.
that one then, the Tag Manager, because I had to help you. He had to ask you for help on that before.
Well, the only thing there is the Google Tag Assistant is broken, and right now
Oh.
every setup of Tag Manager shows as not quite working correctly. So hopefully that will be
dear.
updated soon. So don't freak out if you do download it and everything's broken. Don't freak out.
Everything's broken at the moment. It's not good.
But if you're, where I use Ghostery, going back to Ghostery, the most is competitor research.
Okay.
So if you're helping a particular client and they have two big competitors, it's just a really quick, easy way to see what they might be doing
Well,
in
yeah,
terms
definitely.
of remarketing.
That sounds really good. I'm going to have to invest in that.
Cool. So dead easy to get. You just log into Chrome, go to the extensions and search for Ghostery.
Okie doke.
So we're coming to, well, that's both our two apps. I already know what app of the month is.
For me, it's MailerLite, definitely.
That was one of the best reviews you've ever given.
it's because I think probably because I'm using it at the moment, and I'm kind of using it nearly every day. So I think it probably. Yeah, I'm more excited. If you ask me in 6 months' time, maybe I wouldn't be so excited. I don't know. One of the other things about MailerLite, which I found at the beginning when I signed up, was they work in different languages as well. So when I signed up, I started getting emails in French from them, and I had to email them and say, I'm not French. I just live in France. Can you send me English ones, please? So, but yeah, you can. I think there's like a language thing on there as well for your campaigns and stuff. I think there's some kind of language option.
Very good.
Which is good.
Very good.
Yeah.
If I remember, I think they're actually based in France.
I think it's not. I think it might be Germany or.
Okay. My apologies to MailerLite.
No, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. I know they're based somewhere else. They're not in the UK. They're definitely based in Europe somewhere. I'm not sure whether it's France. I'll have to check.
We shall check it out.
We will.
And next month we'll have all the Positive Spark stuff on there too. Exciting.
Hopefully, yes. Hopefully.
Great stuff. Well, Joe, thanks for another wonderful podcast.
No problem.
We shall speak again soon.
Yeah, speak to you soon, Phil.
My name is Phil Byrne, and I'd like to thank you so much for listening today. I hope you got something really good to take away from this week's episode for you or your business. And you know what? I'd like to give you something more. In fact, I'd like to give you a whole free web marketing pack full of all my latest and best ideas on how you can take your business forward positively online. Download your pack at positivesparks.co.uk/pack. And most of all, guys, look forward to seeing you again next week.